Hey y'all, I'm Brer Sam, and this is one of my movie reviews. This time I watched The Daydreamer for the first time. And The Daydreamer is a combination live action and stop motion film by the well-known creators Arthur Rankin Jr. and Jules Bass. Now, when most people think of those guys, they think Christmassy stuff like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Santa Claus is Coming to Town and The Year Without a Santa Claus, one of my mom's favorites. But this is not a Christmassy film, and which is good because it's April. But this film is based on the life of the well-known storyteller Hans Christian Andersen, the guy who wrote The Little Mermaid and Thumbelina and The Ugly Duckling and The Emperor's New Clothes, according to this film. And it's very good. It centers around a young Hans Christian Andersen, and his father tells him about this place called the Garden of Paradise, which is another Andersen fairy tale. So Chris wants to find the Garden of Paradise, and so he sets off on this wild journey that's supposed to lead him there, and along the way, he daydreams, and when he daydreams, he turns into this little miniature stop-motion version of himself, and he basically embarks on the same journeys as the characters in his fairy tales, the ones that we know. Like, for example, the first one you see is The Little Mermaid. He ends up under the sea, and the mermaid is in love with him, like, It's exactly like the original fairy tale. She goes to the sea witch and gets a potion that'll help bring him back to life. I mean, most people associate the Little Mermaid with the mermaid wanting to turn into a human, but here she's trying to revive Chris. And she does, and she's in love with him, but Chris has to leave her and find the Garden of Paradise. And then as he's back in live action, he finds a little duckling, and the duckling becomes his sidekick, which might have foreshadowed The Ugly Duckling. And the next story that you see is The Emperor's New Clothes, where little Chris, stop-motion Chris, meets these two tailors who want to make new clothes for the Emperor, but they're really doing it because they want to get paid. So what they really do is they sew imaginary clothes, and the Emperor walks around town naked. So the tailors basically make a fool of the Emperor, and they basically swindled Chris into helping them because they don't ultimately help him. And then when Chris wakes up again, he gets arrested by this like police guy or something. He's taken, like, he's chained up. He's gonna be forced to like chop wood and chop trees into logs, and oh my god, it's kind of weird, you know, but it's Rankin and Bass. You gotta expect a little weirdness here and there. And then as he's waiting to like start chopping or something, he meets Thumbelina. And Thumbelina knows where the Garden of Paradise is, so Chris shrinks himself to her size, and they go off together, but then they meet this rat who seemingly takes them in, but really he wants Thumbelina to marry this mole friend of his, and it's a trick, really. And then Chris leaves Thumbelina, and he does get to the Garden of Paradise, but eventually the Sandman, the character who guides him there, reveals that Chris was a little selfish just to get there. He let his ambition get the better of him, so he mistreated the Little Mermaid and Thumbelina, and he abandoned his father, and that's the lesson that he learns, not to let his ambition get the better of him. And that's a very good lesson, because a lot of people do let their ambitions get the better of them, and it doesn't make them very good people. So the lesson is certainly good in this. The cast I love. It's got a lot of good voice talents here. It's got Patty Duke as Thumbelina, Boris Karloff as the rat, Burl Ives as the Sea King, Tallulah Bankhead as the Sea Witch, Haley Mills as the Mermaid. And of course Ed Wynn as the Emperor. He was hilarious. And of course we have the live action cast with Paul O'Keefe playing Chris, and And Paul O'Keefe is adorable. His portrayal of Chris was fantastic. I liked it. You might recognize Paul O'Keefe a little better as Ross Lane from the Patty Duke Show. So technically, when the scenes with Chris and Thumbelina are kind of a reunion between Patty Duke and Paul O'Keefe, and that was fun knowing that. And I also loved Ray Bolger as the Pie Man because I mean, you guys know that I take a lot of shots at Ray Bolger because he's Ray Bolger. I mean, he was very good, just dancing with stacks of pies in his hands. That's basically all he does, but it's entertaining to watch. And Ray Bolger is always a ton of fun to watch for me. And he also has a stop motion version of himself that appears in the Emperor's New Clothes segment. He's in this parade, like trying to distinguish a dummy from a smart person. And we also have Margaret Hamilton, the Wicked Witch of the West, as this lady who's asking Hans Christian Andersen's father to fix her shoes. His father is a shoemaker. And she's a mean old lady, and I'm like, wow, she is perfect for this role. Yeah, it's very good. And yeah, so the cast I love, as you can plainly tell. The songs are very Rankin and Bass. I mean, they're catchy, and like the music, you can clearly tell it's Rankin and Bass. Like, my father walked in and saw the movie on my TV, and he said, it sounds like Rankin and Bass. It looks like Rankin and Bass. So yeah, so in a nutshell, this movie is exactly what you would expect of a Rankin and Bass film, except maybe the live action parts. I don't know. They don't usually do live action Rankin and Bass, but it's a good type. It's very good, and I'm honestly a little surprised how this isn't one of their more well-known films, and I think it should be because it's fun and it's adorable and it's got a good lesson. So I guess you can tell that I like this film a lot. I really do, and I'm sure that I will view it more times in the future, definitely. So yeah, I love the cast. I like the music. I love Rankin and Bass. I love Rankin and Bass. So this film is definitely in the favorites category for me. Yeah, so if you've never seen it, check it out. If you're a Rankin and Bass fan, or even not, you might like it. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all later. Bye!